Nottingham Forest are interested in Koch. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are. Whatever time of day you're watching this, hope you're having a fantastic day and welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest transfer news. In today's episode, we will be talking about Koch. We'll be giving you an update on a keeper link. Are the Saudis going to end up screwing Nottingham Forest? And what the hell is going on with Gustavo Scarpa? We'll give you the latest on all of that. Before we do all that, please don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And tonight, maybe, we will be launching our new gaming channel where we will find out who is the better manager, Steve Cooper or Wolverine. We'll be doing some fun streams on Football Manager. I haven't played it in years and I'm looking forward to it. So if you're interested in watching that, and I'm gonna need any of you Football Manager experts to help me along, because honestly, I can't remember how to play it. Go and subscribe to the new gaming channel, Wolverine Gaming. The link's in the description. I'll get a little card to pop out as well. But yeah, please, I'm gonna need your help. All right, let's jump into this and let's talk about Koch. Okay, so Nottingham Forest are apparently interested in Koch. Koch, the Leeds centre-back, who has some weird rumours about him being able to leave on a free. How true these are or not, I don't know. Is it all cock and bull? I'll get my joke. I'll get my coat. But anyway, his actual valuation is somewhere in and around 15 million. But he is absolutely crap, man. Honestly, he is terrible. Let's think about it. This is a guy who played at the back for Leeds United. Where are Leeds United? In the Championship. Therefore, why would Forest look to strengthen with someone who is crap? That's what I don't get. Look, if he was free, and speaking of Football Manager, I'd probably bring him in and then sell him back out for like 10 million, literally the next day. That would be the only logical thing I would do with him. I do not rate this guy at all. I think he's absolute garbage. I don't blame one player for a team going down. For example, if you look at Everton, well, technically they survived, but they were crap. I would take Mina to come at Forest because I think he's a good defender, even though their defense was crap last season. I don't blame the whole thing on all of them. But with Koch, I do blame him for his utter crapness with Leeds going down. I think he is part of the problem. And why would we bring that problem into Nottingham Forest? This one literally makes no sense to me, man. For me, the player that I like at the moment that we've been linked to, now this isn't my shopping list, but the ones that have been linked to, is the Greek defender. I think he's fantastic. He's perfect for us, in fact. Perfect. And that's the one we should be going for. But to go and play with some Koch right now just doesn't make any sense to me, because I could see Koch being quite a flop. All right, that's the last reference I'll do for now. But what do you guys think? Would anyone fancy a bit of Koch at Nottingham Forest? Because I just don't see how he would fit in. I would go as far to say as I would rather have McKenna and Cook ahead of him. That's how bad I think he is. But I'm just getting worried, man. We're like, what is it now? The 21st of June. The transfer window's been open for nearly a week. We're not seeing tasty links apart from Amrabat yesterday. If you haven't seen that, go check out that video. We're not seeing these killer names now that I want to see. Maybe my expectation levels are too high. I know yesterday a lot of people saying, Amrabat, why are we bothering? We're never going to get him. There's big clubs interested in him, etc. But at least if you're fishing in those ponds, that you might actually catch something. But if you're fishing for Koch, you ain't going to get nothing that's decent. That's all I'm saying on this one. What do you guys think of Koch? Do you blame him for Leeds going down? Well, we wouldn't blame him. We thank him, I suppose. But then you might as well, it would be like bringing Bamford back to Forest. It really would. Everyone knows who's a Forest fan that we are thankful for Bamford's performances last season for Leeds. That miss from 2 yards out was on the money. Once a red, always a red. And Koch is just the Bamford in the defence for me for Leeds. And he just wouldn't work at Nottingham Forest. My thoughts, don't have to agree. You can agree if you want, whatever. But let me know what you think about Koch. And would you take a bit of it at Nottingham Forest? Okay, let's move on and talk about goalkeepers. And the goalkeeper that we brought you before, who's Sakir or Çakır or however you pronounce the Turkish dude's name. Apparently, Forest are considering or have made a 10 million euro bid for the player. This is where things start to get confusing, because at the same time as this is going on, you got the whole Dean Henderson saga. I don't really want to talk about Henderson, but here we go. Henderson has apparently pissed off Ten Hag, and it's abundantly clear now he will not play for Manchester United. Now, all that tells me is Manchester United are giving Forest yet more and more buying power, and Forest need to snap up on this. So let's mix the two together here. So you got this. I'm going to call him Sakir. If you're Turkish, let me know how you meant to pronounce that squiggly half-5 under a C in the comments below. But I like this keeper. But again, I don't know if he would come to be number one. He's the Turkish international. He's actually pretty decent. I've got nothing against him. I still would prefer Livakovic, by the way. But how's this going to work? Keeper positions, as we keep saying, are ones where if you're number one, you're usually number one for life until you break your leg or mess up or whatever. So is he going to come from the Turkish league just to sit on a Premier League bench is question number one. And if he is, do we need to spend 10 million on a bench warmer? I think that's too much. I honestly, for me, what I would do right now is I would definitely buy Hendo. I would basically threaten Man U, because personally I take great joy and pleasure in that. And I'd tell them, you've got till the 30th of June to respond. Here's our final offer, 15 million plus 5 million add-ons. Take it or leave it. We won't be coming back for Henderson. And you've got till the 30th of June. That will scare Manchester United. That deal will get done nice and quick. And then I would sit Horvath down and have a long chat with him and say to him, you are second choice now to Henderson. We are not loaning you out. You will be second choice. You know our medical staff and what they're like. So no doubt you'll be playing quite a lot of games this season. So just be there on the bench. We will give you the cup matches. We will give you both the FA Cup and the League Cup. You go out there, you showcase yourself, etc. And if and hopefully not, when Henderson gets injured, you will be our automatic starter at those stages and you will prove yourself. And that would solve the problem for me. So there's no need to go and buy Sakir or Çakır or Shakira, Waka Waka, whatever his name is, or Livakovic, or the Polish Dragon. Those are all overkill for me. But then the other side of the argument is, do you want some keeper competition? Do you want, if Hendo comes in, would a Livakovic coming in force him to play better? It's very rare you have two semi-number ones in a football team. The only one that comes to mind for me was Chelsea, where you had Kepa and Mendy battling it out, both thinking they were number one. I'm thinking on teams last season. I'm sure you guys can think of some other examples as well. So that would be my process on it. And then that 10 million that we've bidded on Shakir, I'm going to call him Shakira, then we could put in other players. That to me makes more sense. But am I being too logical or am I being too simple? What do you guys think? Okay, we told you yesterday that Forest were the bookies' favourites with Callum Hudson-Odoi, and in true Jinxerine style, it comes out today that the Saudis are after him. This whole debacle with Chelsea and the Saudis right now has got everyone in a mess. And I'll give my 2 cents on it very quickly. I don't really care, man. I mean, football is a corrupt game. There's no two ways about it. It's a business to the people in it rather than a passion to the fans like us watching it. So I expect, and whatever links Chelsea have with Saudi, good luck to them. You know, it is what it is. I don't care what Chelsea do. But this one, do I really want Hudson-Odoi? I don't know. It's his injury record that worries me. I think he's a decent player. It's the injury side of it. But Chelsea are clearly trying to do some money washing with the Saudis. Now, technically speaking, if you're going to be objective and neutral about it, we can't really complain when, let's say there's been a few back and forths between Forest and Olympiacos over the years. So Chelsea doing it with Saudi, would we really have legs to complain about it if Forest miss out on Hudson-Odoi because Chelsea and the Saudis did some kind of deal? So we gotta be objective on this one. Would I like him? Yes. 10 million would be where I'm at, but it looks like the Saudis are coming in with a lot more money. So I don't think we're gonna get him at this current rate. But I am interested to know what you guys think about this whole Chelsea-Saudi debacle. And does it bother you at all? And if it does, then what do you feel about Forest and Olympiacos? And now Monza looks like it's joining the family. Maybe we get a nice little love triangle going with the three clubs. Who knows? Especially if we could get Augusto, the left back, from there. So get your thoughts in on that. I am dying to know where your mindsets are on it. And let's move on to the main story of today, and that is my boy Scarpa. Scarpa has had interest in him from some European, well, it's Turkey European, I guess it technically is, clubs. But the message has come out that he will be staying at Nottingham Forest, both from the player and from the club. And in fact, it's gone further to say he will be an important member of the squad next season. And that puts a smile on my face if it's actually true. Boy, had it better be true. Because this player is a gem. I've defended him all season. Ant's defended him all season. Ez has, Dino has, and I think a lot of you guys have. And our Brazilian cohorts have come in and told us what a player he is. Remember, this is the player that won not one, but two Golden Balls in Brazil last season. They're player of the year. And we have not utilized him. Let's give you a quick reminder on everything that's happened with Scarpa. Scarpa came into Nottingham in December time when it was absolutely freezing cold and took Nottingham by storm. There was so much hype around him. In fact, he came off the plane and went straight to Loughborough, I believe it was, to watch our pre-season, mid-season friendly. That's how nice of a guy he is. Jet lagged or not, he wanted to see what he was getting himself involved in. He then played a couple of games. He played against Blackpool. He came on against Southampton where he was world class. Those passes out wide to Nico Williams. That threaded ball out to the left with Lodi. Unreal. And then on top of that, he wasn't even played in his correct position on his few appearances that he did make. Scarpa for me is a 10 or a right winger. So fast forward a little bit and what happens? He gets scammed with this crypto whole thing going back on in Brazil where he's lost over £1 million to it. He had to go back to Brazil on Marinakis Airlines to make a court appearance where he's trying to claim his money back, etc. And that had somewhat of an impact on him. As he came back, he picked up a calf injury. I don't know if it's from the medical staff or on the plane or what have you. And that put him out pretty much for the rest of the season. So far, we have not seen even 1/1,000,000th of the quality that Scarpa has to offer us. And I am firmly behind him being not just an important part of the squad, but someone who would challenge the first team lineup. The hard bit in all of this is where does he play? Obviously, his best position is right wing or in the number 10. And we have Morgan Gibbs-White there and Brennan Johnson. What we'll be doing, though, in a video coming up shortly is putting together the Dream 11 for Nottingham Forest this season, and we'll update that as we go through. Let's see if Scarpa gets into my Dream 11. But it is good news for me, going back to the story, that Scarpa will be a mainstay in this team. It did feel, if I'm being honest, that Cooper didn't fancy him. At many stages during the season, he was unused on the bench quite a few times. He had players coming in ahead of him like Ayew. Are you serious that Ayew was getting on the pitch ahead of Scarpa, etc.? But it'll be interesting with these reports coming out to see how it's used. And Scarpa himself has come out and said that he is really excited to get a full preseason under his belt with Nottingham Forest, because technically he was shoved in lastminute.com beforehand. Now, there was all this talk about, don't forget the Brazilian league doesn't overlap with the Premier League. He was knackered and all this stuff. I don't buy it for a second. Scarpa, if he was fit, should have been played in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Look, This whole talk of footballers getting knackered for playing football doesn't wash with me. They're getting paid ridiculous amounts of money to kick a ball, something we did as kids and in our 20s, etc., for fun, not to be paid for. Yes, they train 500 times a week or whatever it is, but at the end of the day, being too knackered to do your job, that doesn't fly with me. It really doesn't. If you're fit, then you're good enough to be on the pitch. If you're not match sharp, work on it. Just my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, that brings you up to date with your latest Nottingham Forest transfer news. Don't forget tonight, I don't know when, but tonight we will be starting off our football manager campaign with Nottingham Forest on our new channel. I think it's called Wolverine Gaming. Make sure you go and subscribe to it. And if you know how to play Football Manager, I beg you, please be there and guide me through the ropes on it. But it is going to be so much fun. There's also a few tickets left for the Brennan Johnson signed frame shirt, so make sure you go check those out. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tonight. It's going to be fun. Who's better, Wolverine or Cooper? The proof will be in the pudding. Thank you for watching. Please do hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe. And come on, you Reds.